Okay, we're going to do a quickie with Karen sent something, and there's just the way she did it is worthy of noting something, okay? Before we start.
Oh, while Karen's looking, or while Carrie's looking, Peter was just listening to something that's dropped recently on YouTube, a commentary by John Bolton talking about Canada and trade, and it's very
Yeah.
interesting. It's worth listening to.
Does he offer any hope?
Well, yeah, I mean, basically, he's saying that Carney has really changed the rules, and that the fact that he's opening up trade negotiations. I mean, I only heard part of it because Peter was down here listening to it on his own. But the fact that Canada has opened up trade negotiations with
Comments are all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we are.
Nothing online, okay?
Yes.
I don't make any comment. I don't do anything in life. I don't
No,
need
no, no. We have to be careful.
No, I don't need this to come back and haunt me in 5 years. Forget it.
Right.
No matter what I feel. We can all scream and yell.
Mhm, mhm.
We're in our living rooms with our friends, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, where are we going here? Okay, so she did this this exercise, which we won't do today. We're gonna do the other thing. So that was we can talk about that. I don't really want to get into that today because it's too much. But then this one, okay?
Oh, you've already done that. I thought that's what you did that yesterday, Karen. I thought we were going to be doing that this week and today.
I wasn't sure.
I already did it as well. I mean, we're just gonna, but I just want to point something out, okay? Because it's actually quite important. So this thing here, this circle is too big. It looks kind of like a space helmet, right? So basically what it should be in the context of the skull. It's got to be about 20% smaller. It's not, see here you've got it outside the perimeter of the head, and I'll go over this thing and I'll show you as we start. But that was just, and the way that you've handled this circle. I understand you're just starting, all that sort of thing, but that is an error, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
quite understand. How is it an error? I mean, it looks pretty.
Well,
the
because
same
it's
to
too
me.
big. It should fit within the context of the skull. And
Oh, I see. Yeah.
yeah, it's not. And also too, and I'll point this out when we get into look, 'cause she's got these marks all over. There's something that you need to be aware of. So I'm just letting you know, this bubble or this circle is way too big.
Big.
Okay. So you got to sort of know where to fit it in the context of the image. Otherwise, it's not going to serve you very well. Okay.
What circle is way too big?
Okay.
The whole big circle, the main
The
circle.
whole big circle. Yeah, the whole.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's way too big. Okay. So she's
I think
judged
so.
it.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
think I went back to the one where he's got 9 because I drew the circles on top of his pictures and they were bigger than the actual face he ended up with.
But
So
this
that's why
one's
I
way
thought,
too big.
that's
I'll show
okay.
you how big and also what
Where you think
you need to be aware of in this particular thing as well. Okay, so I'm going to switch cameras. Oh, I'm going to turn lights on now that I have to do this. So I've got a new setup here. It may take a few weeks to iron out the glitches here because
So what are we working on tonight?
we're going to work on that face.
that ugly man.
Oh, I thought we were doing the other one.
No, we're going to
Okay.
work on the face.
All right.
Old man warrior face. All right, so this is the one I just did. Well, I did it yesterday, actually. So this is just, I just wanted to go over it first and make sure that, because this is kind of all a new drill for me to be doing this flat like this and also doing it. So anyway, so this was the thing that I did. So what I wanted to point out is, and I'm gonna trace on this one. Yeah, I don't like this angle. Okay. Anyway, so what's happening here is that circle has a tendency to go like right sort of under the nose, like this, and then goes around the skull. Now, this thing here that you see is actually kind of a turban, and you can see it that he's got this
Oh.
kind of a hat thing there. Okay, that's the beginning of the thing, and this is
Okay.
this is a turban. Okay, of some.
I didn't see that either. I thought it was his
I
head.
thought
His hair.
it was his head.
Because I was looking when I was looking at this thing, I was doing the head. I'm thinking, okay, why is his head so
Right.
big?
Yeah.
It's either
I
a
can see
lot
it
of
now.
hair, and then I realized here, there was kind of a turban kind of affair like this. Okay, so you can see it, and then that's the hat kind of part of it. Okay, like that.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's not his head. So his head is more like, so it comes under here, right under the nose, comes there, it goes, and then it probably goes around like this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
More like this, and then goes around the back of his skull and then back in, and that is the circle. That is more realistically what it is. Okay. Let me see if I can.
Good. That explains why I ended up with an ear that was too big because I saw it and I thought, why is that ear much bigger than their ear?
Yeah, but also too, you can see it hangs right on the brow,
yeah.
right on there, right on the top, maybe the skull maybe goes like this, maybe a little bit bigger, but it's around like that.
That's
Back of the head is right behind the ear, and then it goes like this, okay? So that's the way. Do you see the circle in there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just
So
drawing
it's
that.
20%
Yeah.
smaller. Also, too, this is you have to look for the brow line, okay? So that's the side, and that's where the other circle, that's where it goes to. It goes right to where the skull, you can see how the skull is very planal, right? Like it comes forward like this, but then so it's not round. The circle is round, but that side plane that he has there, he's lopped it off. So in the circle, it's like this, but you can see that it takes a very sharp, super sharp turn. See what I'm saying? Right there, the side plane. And so this is what you're looking for. You're looking for this bone right there, and that bone is here.
As far forward as that
So
too.
that is always the side plane, because actually what's happening is it goes around like this, and then it takes a major turn that way. Okay, so those are the clues that you have. This is the front plane of the face. This front plane here, and then it takes an immediate, almost a right angle off into this plane here. Okay. So this circle, 3/4, it's about maybe here, it's the top. So then it goes kind of like this on that angle. Then the halfway mark is coming through kind of on this angle. And then it's about like this. Okay, do you see? So everything is quite a bit smaller. That's across the top of the head. Right here is that line, and that's what goes across his thing right there. And then at the bottom here, so it goes around where the nose is, the bottom of the nose is. And then this is different because his mouth is wide open. The proportions would be very, very different. Like if his mouth was closed, obviously this would come up to about there, right? So it's a different. So these are the things you sort of have to be looking for when you're in there. So that's the circle. That's the angle of the midline. And this is the cross here, like this. So that's where the cross is. And it comes down to the corner of the eye, then comes around the face. Like this.
Yeah, it is pretty much to corner.
So that's what you're looking for. And if it's not right, obviously it's going to create problems when you're doing the drawing, right? You're going to be struggling with how come it's not, all these angles are going to feel off. But the thing is that this initial stage of this circle and establishing those, where is it? Where do I have it? I have it here.
Gary, do you want to bring up your sketch again, where the circle is?
Hold on. Yeah. So when you're creating this and you're creating all these different planes, right? All this stuff here. That's what you want to be aware of, right? So this circle, if you look there, it goes there and it comes right to the bottom of the nose. This here, that slides down. And then from here to the nose, so from the nose to the eyebrow is the same, from the eyebrow to the hairline is the same, and then, but that's if the jaw is closed. And then from there, it's all the same. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can see that. 1, 2, 3. It's the same, but his jaw is open, so his will come down quite a bit further because he's dropped the jawline. quite a bit further. Okay.
So Carrie, but all of the crosses in, I don't know why I'm all blurry, but anyway, all of the crosses in the other pictures are actually where his eyes and nose are. Like the mid, do you know what I
No.
mean? Like,
This goes here. This midsection here is at the brow line, not the eye line. It's the brow
and
line.
the brow line, but the actual
Yeah.
cross that he has is all they're all on the brow line and the nose. Did you
Yeah,
see
and the
like
nose. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The circle, this circle goes like this, and it basically, when you're drawing the circle, it comes to about there, just below the nose.
right? So how come you have the cross right by his ear on the guy with his mouth open?
Different cross.
It's a
So
different
there's two
color.
crosses.
Yeah, the one by the eye is not. It's just how
This is
far
the
forward
side
that's-
plane. This is the side plane.
So the
And you
cross
will
is side
see
plane. Okay,
that this one
Yeah.
here, like this
got
circle,
it.
Is
Okay,
that
okay,
one.
okay.
that's his brow line right there.
Yeah. All right, so there's two
So
crosses. Okay.
hot all of a sudden. Yeah, so this is what you're looking for. What are the clues that I'm looking for? I'm looking for the skull, not the hair or the hat. Okay, that's the first thing, and it fits within the skull of the head, right? It comes the bottom of the circle comes to where the nose is. The top goes to the top of the skull. When this comes down, the cross that's created, this part of the thing, there's 4 quadrants. The ear is in the bottom corner quadrant, not the front. Okay, it's in the back, and the jawline starts in this.
Starts
So
in the-
the bottom quadrants, the ears in the back, the jawline starts in the front. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this comes along to the bottom of the nose. This hits, and then the circle comes out to the brow, to the temple bone, right? You know, the temple
Yeah.
bone right there. And then you look for your mid, your central line in your thing, okay, like this. It goes below the nose, and these 3 portions from the brow to the hairline, from the brow to the bottom of the nose, and from the bottom of the nose to the jaw are generally the same. 1, 2, 3. Those proportions are pretty much the same. Are they all? That's kind of like a base concept, shall we say, okay? But like I was saying, so this one here that we have of the Da Vinci, we have an issue with that because his jaw is open, his mouth is open, so his jaw will naturally be longer, okay?
Yeah.
So we have to allow for that. We have to allow for the top of the head. This is not his head. That's not his skull. That is a turban or a hat of some kind, okay? That's what that is. And when we're looking at this, we say, okay, and this is where my side plane circle goes, right to here. That's automatically telling you where it is, right there. Okay?
Carrie, can I stop you for a minute?
Yeah.
The big circle is not really a round circle. It's almost like an oval because
in
his
the head.
head
Yeah.
is changed. And that's where I was getting mucked up.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it
Well,
is.
if
It's
you
not
do the
circle.
measurement right now, the measurement of the 2 angles, you're going to find that the width and the length are not right.
1. Yep. They're almost the same. What you
It's
will
not a
do,
circle.
Okay, but then do it. Okay, you've done those 2, but then do the crossways like this, and you're going to find it's not right. Okay, your top one and your bottom one, I can understand that, okay, because it went to the bottom of the nose. But take the measurement from the top to the bottom of the nose, and then do it at diagonal.
are you talking about these and this and this?
No, just the basic circle is not totally round.
Well, what happens is here it comes, you shave the side plane off on both sides.
No, I haven't even got to
Yeah.
that. We start with a circle. I'm having a hard time with this. We start with a circle, and a circle is totally round. This circle is not totally round. I visually look at it, like the top and the bottom and the sides, okay, yes, but then look at the sideways. The sideways is squished. So it's looking more like a circle like
An
this,
oval.
not
Yeah.
a round, an oval, not a round one.
Okay, well, we're going to draw this in a minute. I don't see it that way. I see a circle, a pretty good circle. And also, too, when he was working on some of these here, when you cut that side plane off, like this, if you were to draw the circle, this is what this line would look like here, right? Remember? You would end up with this here. That would be the side. But then he cuts this off. Like if you had a circle of dough and then you cut the sides off, that's what you would end up with. So what ends up happening is on this side, this circle comes like this. You end up cutting some of it there and you cut some of it here. So it is a little
But
more
you
squished.
start with a complete circle. That's my point. So that's where I'm hung up looking at it. It doesn't look like it. But anyway, okay, let's start drawing it.
Okay, no, I don't know. To me, I saw it. I didn't have a problem with that. Okay, so anyway, so these are just some of the things, and we'll be working with lots of different. And then when I was working with this one here, her same thing. Her proportions were such, and you can see it. Her proportions. She had a broad forehead, a long nose, and a very sort of short chin. So her proportions were not ideal either. It's a place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this drawing started just like the other. It started with a circle and all those other things and the lines and everything. And then as I was drawing it, I just got rid of them. Oops.
Marianne, if you make the circle just go up a bit more into his dressing on his head, it becomes more of a circle.
Well, and also if you take the
Yeah.
part of the circle that goes from the ear and the nose and round it down a bit more, then you get your complete circle.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. I just put a circle, guys. That's what I did. Okay, to me, it was really obvious. I just put a circle there, cut a little bit off on the sides, established this, this part here for the other circle, brought it
Mhm.
down on the right angle, went over, checked, and then I checked here. I'm also using it as a combination. So I'm going, okay, what's the angle of the eyes? The eyes were pretty much straight across. Looked at this, and then just kept on going. But also, so once the circle is in there, then we're doing a lot of like comparative measurement. We're looking at
Yeah.
angles, proportions, shapes, all the things that we're very familiar with.
Mhm.
Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to take and move this.
And Carrie, the circle that goes around the ear or the side panel, the circle we take off, the line there, does it go at the top of the ear or is it in the center?
Should be top of ear.
Top of
The
the ear.
Top of the ear. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let me move.
Now I get it.
So and that's just kind of giving you a sketchy thing to start with. Then you get
Mhm.
and then you start to fine tune it. Like I said, you may find his ears are too big, the forehead's too small, the nose needs to be longer, whatever. Okay, you have to customize it to the actual image that it is or the portrait that it is. Okay, that these idealized proportions are just a place to start. I'm keen on. Let me see if I can.
Carrie,
pull this-
sorry, can I see your crosses again, just one more time? Quickly? Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
Oh, you have it above the ear, quite a bit above the ear.
oh yeah, that's right. Should be there.
Should be.
Should be right where
More.
the,
Or like that.
okay. All right, okay.
Let's be more like that. Excellent.
So do you start by just drawing the circle again?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm just looking over here. I'm not trying to do site size. I'm just it'll probably be close, but I'm not trying to. I'm just arbitrarily drawing this thing. Okay. So I'm going to start maybe there is my top. There's my bottom. And I need to create a circle. And that circle's got to go from here to about there. Now, so I can go here. And the circle goes from here to here. So I'm just kind of, and these are very loose movements, right? I just want to get started. So about there. Oh, pretty good. I can tell even at this stage here if it's circular or not. How is it? Looks pretty circular to me, okay? It doesn't look weird and really weird and wonky. Okay, does that look pretty good?
Yeah.
Looks pretty circular. So that didn't take long, did it? Pretty fast. Okay, it means this one will probably change a bit and that anything, but at least it's a place to kind of get a general ballpark as to where things are going on this thing. Here, I'm gonna get this. I think I need to put this on the table behind me. This just doesn't look like this doesn't look as focused. It wants to focus on this. Okay, all right, that's a lesson learned. Okay. All right. So now I'm looking at the side plane. So this thing, so I'm going to measure how much of this do I see? So this is comparative measurement. So I'm just looking, this goes in one from the ear to the side plane, or the point of his temple is one. It goes from there two and maybe about a third. So okay, 1, 2, and about a third. So I can see that it's about there. 1, 2, no, further. 1, 2, and about a third. Okay, so that looks like it's the correct spot for here.
Oh, that's
Okay.
what you're measuring. Okay.
Yeah, so do you see that's what I got? And what am I doing? Comparative measurement. All I have to do is take this and measure there. Okay, that's to the temple bone from the side of the ear, from the external point, from there, and it goes over to just about where this eye is, and then there's that little bit over, which is maybe about a third. Okay, so that's the measurements. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for, just arbitrarily. So that's there. And then the nose, okay, right there, and that's the bottom of the nose right here. About like that. That's the angle. So I'm looking at this angle.
Have you got, would it be more helpful if you put the picture up the way you've drawn the circle on him as well? Because then because that's how I see it. And then you can see where the lines are and where things go.
Yeah, and that might be worth doing it just a Xerox copy, and then like what
Yeah.
you did, Karen,
That's
and
what
then
I'm-
drawing
yeah.
all over it, and it's helping you visualize the thing, right? So that's that angle there, which actually looks. And so when you're doing it like this,
You can see it's further down. Yeah.
pencil like your measuring stick all the time, okay? And
Yeah.
it's very, very fluid. So basically, so
I think
you're
that's
using
good,
it to
yeah.
measure, and you're approximating. I mean, you're not going to get this exact, to the
Yeah.
millimeter, but this is what you're doing. You're developing your eye. And so, and it may seem kind of like, well, no, I can't get it exact. Actually, you will. This is the whole point, is that you're not relying on the tool. The tool is there to help you to a degree, but what you're beginning to develop is your eye. And that's what I noticed when I was doing my own training. When we went from the bar room, which was, this like this, an image, and then kind of a side by side kind of thing. We had to then look at something out there, like a setup or something, and then we had to make that measurement, commit it to eye, and then walk up to the easel. We had to stand about 8 feet back, walk up to the easel, and then make the mark. And everybody's, oh no, I won't remember. I'll lose. But you know what? You'd be amazed how quickly your eye is able to do those gymnastics. And what you're doing is it's like weight training for your eye and your memory. So you actually get faster, better, or better, faster, believe it or not. It's kind of almost, you think, well, no, isn't it? Well, yeah, actually. So here's this side plane. you know, I kind of make a top and then a little side and kind of like that, right? So I can use that to sort of get that figured out there. Okay, like that. So that's the angle. Then I'm going to come. So I'm looking at here, I'm looking at this angle, and this is how you just get your angle. So I'm holding my pencil. Now it becomes a double tool. I'm drawing with it, but then I'm using it as my measuring. So I just hold it, you know, in whatever way I can in order to get whatever measurement, and then I just bring it over. You just transfer it over. It's very easy. So that is on that angle, that's on that angle. Okay, fine. So I go back, double check, look at that. Go over here, could use a little more of a, more like that. Okay, then this here, which means it's kind of like needs to go kind of like this. And this is actually going to be cut down more like this. And I'm going to cut some of this off, because now it becomes more like what Marianne was saying. It's not a complete circle. You have to cut the side planes off. So this goes like this. Looking at my angle, pretty good. Maybe a little more like that. This, like this. That's pretty good. Ear. I'll do that in a minute. I'm going to get more interested in my eye. Okay, so if this is on the circle, my eye is basically 3/4 of the way down, which is what this kind of is. But I notice that the eyes are actually straight. They are literally straight. You can see that. Can you see this, guys?
Yeah.
See how it comes down, but then the eyes do not kind of curl around. They actually, that is a straight thing. So then I'm going to go here and the eyes are like this. And it's kind of like, I'm looking at this, I'm going, yeah, but that looks weird. Actually, what it is that his hairline is up over the top of this thing. It's about like this. And it's going to be the thing is that this is going to be foreshortened. This hairline is going to appear larger because his head is moved forward towards us, right? Those are the eyes. This is the nose. Then this here's the jawline. Okay, this, the ear. And in here, that ear actually goes below. It goes like here. It's kind of like that. So that's the general position of the ear. That's his temple. This is the line of the eye. This is the turbany thing, so maybe it's a bit smaller, comes out further. Kind of like there. Okay, so that's it. Now, what am I going to do? That's the nose. So the nose, where's the center line? The center line is about here. Then I'm going to look for where that center line is. It's like here. Okay, so it's like this. So what's going on? Yep, I can check, and that's really basically what it is. So that's the angle of that thing. Now,
Carrie, where's the center line starting and going down?
start from here. Well, it starts there in the middle of his forehead. So this goes up
Okay,
and it comes
the
around like
curve.
this.
Okay.
So there it goes like that. That's his center line. It goes down the center of the nose, around underneath there, and then like this and like this. In other words, it's the center of the forehead, the center of between the eyes, the center of the nose, the center of the mouth, the center of the chin. Now, it is moving all over because it's following the contour of the face. So this is what you're looking for. The center line, you have to think of it like drawing a line on somebody's face.
Mm-hmm.
Now, depending on how it is, if the person is looking directly at us, obviously it'll look like a straight line, but the more their head turns, you're going to see more of this contouring, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so that's what you need to remember. All right. So I've got my thing here, that's between the eyes. Then I'm going to look down. Now this nose is virtually straight. If I look at that line, that angle, the nose is virtually straight. So I'm going to put that over here. And I'm noticing in the circle, this nose, it barely, it goes over, it just barely breaks that line here. Okay, so this is a little something to remember. When you're putting this here, how long do I make the nose and everything? Well, the nose just barely breaks over that particular 3/4 line of the face, right?
Mhm.
So that nose is pretty much like this. And then it goes like this. And then it has a real angle that goes like this. Okay, so that's the nose like that. And this goes out here. His brow like this. And then it comes in here with his eye. That comes in quite a bit, his cheekbone. I think it even comes in even more. Now I want to establish this line here that follows the side of the face. And I know that I have to do it in a way that, well, it is the correct, and also the nose sticks out. So what am I doing? I'm just doing basic proportions, right? Angles, shapes, and alignments. It's always the same. Once you can really sort of just get that really hardwired in your mind. Okay, which means this has to come out a bit more. Looks to me like this comes out a bit more. And his nose breaks that. That looks a little better. And this goes halfway up the nose. This here. So I'm looking there. That's a proportion, right? That's the nostril. Okay. I think this, it's kind of a two-part thing. It goes like this, and then it goes down. So it's kind of a two-step angle. So this one is more severe. Okay, yeah, that's what it does. If I look at it, it lops the nose off. It's like this. And then I'm going to see how far it goes. So I'm measuring, what is the distance here from the bottom of the nose, like right there on the top of his mouth to this? What is that comparative to? So that measurement is the same as, it's the same as this. This measurement here from the bottom of the nose to the bottom of his chin is the same as from the bottom of the nose to the brow. So the bottom of the nose to the chin. So it doesn't matter what, oh, that's pretty close. It's about like this.
Yeah, so it's too long.
So it doesn't matter how big or you're making it. So you can see even here, this one is, it looks like it's going to end up being smaller than this one. Whereas when I did this one, I think it ended up being bigger. Anyway, I'm going to sharpen that pencil here. And the thing is all this, the Loomis thing, I'm putting that on, it only lasts for a while, and then pretty soon you erase it off and it's not even on your page. It's just helping you get going. It's a bit big. It's gonna go down a bit. Now, this chin, what does it align with? It aligns up here, the beginning of the mouth, which is halfway through the nostril, but here, about like this, okay? Then it comes pretty much like this, straight across here. And it goes on this angle. Like that. Double check. Yep. Maybe a little further out. Let's look at the ear. The ear goes from the bottom, it's right in alignment with the eyes. So they would be about here. So the bottom of the ear is about here. So I can see the eyes are below this, right? That's about where the eyes are. Okay, so now I'm looking back and forth. Am I happy with my fundamental angles? Am I happy with my basic proportions here? If I'm not, this is the time to be changing it. So let me go back and double, triple check. This comes out a bit.
Space.
And the ear, it's just about where the top of the forehead is. Yeah, so this is okay. So this ear looks like it's okay, about like this. Size of the ear. So this ear goes like this. And it comes out. And it comes around like this. And then it's around like that. It looks too big. It is too big. More like this. That's what it's more like. Ears about like this. How big is that ear in relationship to something else? The ear is like this big in relationship to the same size as the nose. So I go here, here. Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay. So the nose, the length of the nose is the same as the length of the ear. Okay, do you see what I'm looking for? So all this, everything that's down there is giving you the information you need to make other decisions. And that's what comparative measurement does. You're looking for, how big is, where does this line up with this? The length of the nose is the same as the size of the ear. The length of the nose is also the size of the nose to the bottom of the jaw. If we were to take and move that sideways, it probably is the length of this eye right here, that whole unit of the eye. So it's giving us the information we need. I'm looking at this here. This looks like about a 2/3, one, two, yeah. So this is broken into thirds, his forehead right here. Goes down, so there's 1/3 is one bump here. And then another one here, there's a little thing, and then a longer one up here. So this is about 1/3 is this thing here. When I look down, it comes to the edge. Okay, and this bump here, where it meets the turban, is at the same level as this when the edge of the brow comes out. Okay. Now I'm going to look at his jaw right along here, because I want to make sure I establish the width of his face properly. So with that, comes like that. Tells me the ear probably needs to come out a bit. Ear needs to probably come like this. So I'm making these adjustments. So this is a combination of like the Loomis, but it's still the block-in method, okay? And the block-in method like this, as opposed to the constructs where we're very carefully measuring with our stick, it's a little more fluid. It's fluid insofar as that it, you're constantly making little changes, but for sure you're becoming a better draftsman. Okay, so this neck thing, it goes out to here, so it's coming on this angle like this. And the shoulder, it's just below the nose, and it's like this. Yeah. Just kind of like that. Now, I'm looking at this jawline. It doesn't quite meet up like that. It goes down like this. Like that. Then there's a trajectory over like this with all the folds of his skin. And this folds back in again like that. And then this is on the angle of the nose, the angle. Okay, right there. That's the other shoulder. It's like that. So I'm trying to figure out where the angle of that shoulder is there. What am I looking for? I'm looking for an alignment. I go straight across, it's the top of the nostril. Oh, I didn't even do it properly. There we go. The turban does not overshoot the ear. The turban does not overshoot the ear. It's a little thinner here. Okay, the length of this forehead to the eyebrow, like this, is the same as, there is the same as from there to there. That's pretty good. That's pretty close. Yeah. Okay. So what are we looking at here? We're just looking at all the basic proportions and angles. That's all I've been focused on up until this time, because without it, the details are going to be a mess. So. All of this has to be established first. And it has to be done accurately. So now that I've got So I'm gonna go back and double check, actually. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. This eye here coming down, you look here. Okay, he's got this brow right here. This eye or cheek and eye area are actually taking up half of that. So it needs to end halfway between the nose and here. So that's how big that needs to be. So I'm just looking at, you know, fundamental proportions. Looking at that proportion. This angle, double, triple check it. It's good. Maybe it could come down a tiny bit. This eye here, what is it? Yeah, so 2.5. So this space here, this little unit here, which is this eye, is 1, 2, and a bit. So 2.5. Okay. So that's the proportion of the eye, or that sort of whole folds of skin. Where does that come? This comes, beginning of the eye is at the beginning of the mouth. The beginning of the eye is at the beginning of the mouth. So about like this. So there and there. These two things line up. Beginning of the mouth lines up also with this. So it lines up where the crick of the chin is. Okay. So that lines up. So here's an alignment. The beginning of this eye lines up at the beginning of the mouth, which lines up with the beginning with the crick in the chin. Okay. So that's a series of alignments that let us know where things are placed. The eye, the beginning of the mouth, and the chin right there. Those are all in alignment. So it's giving us the information we need. Boy, my pencil gets dull really fast. Hold on. Right. And this, the end of the eye, also is where this mouth ends. The angle of the mouth is kind of like that. It's, okay, this mouth comes straighter. Actually, well, let's see what happens. Curls around, but this mouth actually comes down first. So it gives to come. There we go. Which tells me it's further up. This. That. Mouth comes in the eye. The mouth is how wide the mouth. Hmm. Top of the nose, and look at this. Okay, the mouth goes to where the kind of like the side of the thing is right here. So the open side of the mouth goes up to where the temporal or temple bone is, about like that. So these two are about on the same. That's the angle, the angle. How big is that one? Height. Okay, from the nostril to here, is how big the mouth is, about like this. Also, this mouth, okay, the mouth is right open. Oh, the opening of the mouth goes right to where the crick of the chin is. So the proportions. Top of that, straight up to the middle of the nostril. It's here. And now I'm also starting to look at negative space. So when I'm putting this mouth in, I'm looking at this space here, that shape. Okay, do you want to see this? So like for instance here, I'm trying to gauge where this is, the size. This is a good indicator. Like how far is it from the side of the mouth? And what is that shape? The negative shape is very important as well. So we're using the information that's around. I think it needs to come over more. That's what I think. That straight shape looks too big. So I think it needs to come in more like this. Yes. Just over a bit. Angle, that angle, pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to start getting rid of some stuff here. I don't need, pretty much letting the Loomis stuff all go now. So the Loomis thing has kind of served its purpose. Almost get rid of this. It's allowed us to get the basic proportions and placements in. This has to come down somewhat, not like that. It's too high. So this as well. Okay, so now then I'm looking at it and I'm eyeballing it and I'm making some adjustments based on what I think I should see. So this comes down. Okay, I think this angle is too, it's not right. I think it has to be more horizontal. And you'll notice too, sometimes if I'm really trying to get an angle, I'm trying to get that angle, I will, I'm holding this thing with my hand, but then I will steady my wrist in order to make sure that I'm getting this correct, like for instance, this correct angle. So I want to make sure that it's absolutely correct. So I'm holding and balancing my wrist with my pencil, looking at it through one eye, and I come over and sure enough, it's a bit, it needs to be more kind of like, that's what I can see. It needs to be a little wider. Maybe over here, but. So all these lines right now are perishable. You're not invested in them at all. They're just, it's just there to get the whole thing. This nose, it's just to get all these things plotted. Double, triple check, then the eye, nose, mouth. Okay, that's pretty good. So the side of the mouth here, I'm looking, how far does it go? It goes to the temple. To the temple. To the temple. Wider. So like that. And this, the mouth. One lip and a second lip. Does that look right? I think this comes out more like here. Yeah. So I'm also now making, I'm not even measuring, I'm just looking and I'm trying to eyeball what I've got. This angle is slightly, it's more like this. This angle. Makes the nose too pinchy. So where does the nostril, the nose come to? The bottom of the chin. I think this nostril can be slightly bigger and wider. That's what I think. So what am I doing? I'm spending a lot of time here trying to really get these proportions correct. Because there's no point getting any further until they are. Comes out a little too far. There, that looks a bit better. Nose looks a bit long. Nope, says it isn't. Let me see, this comes down, that's what it is. So I'm analyzing, the nose looked too long, what was it? No, it's the nostril. Has to come down. This goes halfway. Halfway, yeah, the nostril had to come down a bit. And this comes up too much. This angle's a little too severe, I think. Comes over. Okay, all right. And these furrows on his brow are exactly halfway. So this, okay, so these, I kind of like that. Here needs to come out a bit more. Okay, so I'm just fine tuning a lot of this, these proportions now. Oops. This. This needs to come out more. This needs to come down a bit more. Better. All right, so let's just talk about this now, so that we've got like this stage of it worked up. Okay, so I wonder. There we go. At least I've got a little tiny thing there in the corner of the screen. Or maybe I should switch it. Hmm. Okay, who wants to talk about what right now?
Well, this is what mine looks like.
Yeah.
I'm not a I can't draw quickly, but next week it'll be so much better when I redo it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what can I say? But
Well, you have to turn your fuzzy thing off. You have to turn your fuzzy background off.
oh, how do I do that?
Go into at the bottom, go into video.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so video, yeah. I don't really need a fuzzy background. You guys don't care.
Well, it's making anything that's not your face
That's
fuzzy.
what I mean. You don't care if I have a fuzzy background. Okay, so video settings. Or is
Yeah,
there a fuzzy background?
Background,
Just
to the
background and
background.
effects, yeah. And none. Okay.
there we go. Perfect.
All right. So be prepared to be more dazzled next week.
We can't see it. You have to hold it right up.
A little bit further up. Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
make me bigger.
Okay,
Karen's
so the
big.
first thing I can see,
Make me bigger, Karen. Yeah, make me
oh,
big
yeah.
because Karen's
Yeah.
the one that's big. Or no, she's not big anymore. No.
yeah. Okay, right. Okay,
Now,
I
the
want
first
you to look
mistake
at the
I
brow,
made
at
was,
the brow line there. Okay, where his eyes are,
yeah,
it does not go. It goes the angle
goes the other way. I can see
the
it
other way.
backwards.
Okay,
I can
it
see
does
that
not
when I look at it
slope
like
up. It
this.
slopes slightly down.
Yeah,
Okay, that's the first thing. And it looks like his mouth is a little too big. The nose, I think, can be tilted ever so slightly, a little bit towards the right. Like it's coming straight down, but it needs to tilt with the head a teeny bit.
right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the mouth needs to come down. I think the chin is a little wide,
Yeah.
and the eyes need to come down on the opposite angle. And that will
Okay.
look up the nose. The nose won't look quite so long. Okay?
Right. Right.
So his where are we here? Okay, no, I'm going to show you this while you're looking at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I made the side plane too small to begin with. That was the first mistake I made.
Bear with me here. There we go. Okay. Okay. So look at your drawing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll notice that this forehead is actually quite an even band.
Yep.
Okay. So the way you've got his eyes going like this, you've got his angle like this.
I know I do.
It needs to be it's straight-ish,
But it's,
ever
no,
so
it goes up.
slightly
It
down.
goes up.
Okay. And
Yeah,
what
I've
it
got
does is create this pretty much even band right across his forehead.
Yeah.
So let's just take a look at this. See?
Yeah.
The band is pretty much even, and it's pretty straight, but then this thing kind of is very hooded. It comes down a tad. Okay? Not much,
Yeah.
but a little.
But a bit. Yeah, no, I've got it. I mean, I've got the right angle, just going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I always say, the right angle in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think the other right hand. Yeah, exactly. So that's something you need to be aware of. So these are a proportional thing that you need to be looking at, okay?
Yeah.
That's that. And then as a result, his nose. So I notice his nose, it's pretty straight, but actually, if you really examine it, it is ever so slightly on an angle.
Yeah, it is.
Even mine needs to change. Okay. So
Yeah, and I've got it ever so slightly in the wrong
so
angle.
I just made a mark on mine. I moved it ever so slightly. It's not
Yeah.
a big deal. Okay. Actually, it should be more like this, which is then going to move this in. Okay, now that makes sense. Which, because then it's a domino effect, right? If that moves over, then I need to narrow this. So this nostril needs to come over a bit. This nostril's happy to be, yeah, probably in here a bit. That probably changes the nostril a tad. And this is what happens as you begin to fine tune things, there'll be like a little domino effect, right?
Yeah.
But this is why you don't want to get invested in anything other than just getting this construct or block-in thing at all. You're going to put most of your energy into this stage because that's has to be accurate. Otherwise, the rest of it's just doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
So your mouth seems to be too big. Like you think about it. So you've got this part of the mouth, the open part of it, but then you've got all these
The wrinkles and,
yeah, you know,
the,
so you gotta
the
make sure.
expression
So
line.
this is what I just did right there. So I went in, so this is off and so I'm looking at this shape now, my negative shape. I'm putting this little shape off the nostril, which creates a kind of a triangular thing right here, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking and I'm going, well, how accurate is that? And then I've got this other one that comes like this. And then I've got this other one that comes like this. Do I have enough room in there? Like, is this actually working? So this comes, and this one comes pretty straight like this. And then this jawline here actually goes kind of like, and then the shadow kind of catches it there.
Okay.
How does this look? This shape. So this actually comes quite significantly down like that. How does this shape all look in here?
Yeah.
Does it look too big or too? And now and then I've got the lips on the bottom. So you've got to make sure all your shapes fit in.
Yeah.
So basically is one of the things that I used to see with people doing with their eyes. They would make the eyes, but they wouldn't allow for the lids. So then they would take the whole shape of the eye with the lids, and they would make that the shape of the eye, and then they would put the lids on top of this, and you
Top
can
of
see
it,
great
they've
big
got these
eyeballs,
eyes
right?
that
Yeah, so it's a proportional thing. So what you're going to go in to know if this is working, you've got to get all the other little sub
shapes in there.
proportions to make sure, do they actually fit in there? So
Yeah.
it strikes me when I'm looking at mine, I don't know why, but my chin looks too, I don't know, like, is it correct? It looks to me like I could use a little something over there.
It just looks a little square to me, your chin. But you haven't rounded out the edges yet, that's all.
There, okay, so this, in other words, this little, there's this here, this whole muzzle right there. And then this
Yeah.
one here actually comes up. It doesn't go all the way down like there. It
Yeah.
gets, so that is like that. And it's kind of like this. And like that. And then this one comes more like this. Okay, fine. So I'm trying to get, all these things are giving the information. That tells me this is over like that. Okay, so this actually is coming up more. It's more like this.
Yeah.
I keep thinking this is maybe out a tad. It's gonna okay.
So-
So anyway, in that area, Lenore, what you have to work
Yep.
out is the size of the mouth, and then you've got to put like a double
Oh
bottom.
yeah, all those bits in
All
there,
these
which
little things,
yeah,
and you
don't have room
then
for.
look at, that's what I said, and then look at your negative shapes in there.
Yeah.
This shape here, this kind of proportion there, how does that proportion, and then this little triangular shape, in the upper lip. And that will help you a great deal. Then you'll know if something's off.
Oh, I knew it was off, but yeah, but maybe I'll to be able to draw like that the first time
And this needs to come down.
quickly.
No, that proportion needs to come down the eye.
Yeah, to draw like that quickly.
So this comes down like this eye. It's like that. And then this is there. And then this eyeball is smaller because it's pretty much the same size as the stuff that's underneath it.
Mhm.
It's quite sort of Okay, so then I'm going to take this here. So then I've got this jawline here. There. Then I'm going to look at like these things here. Like this is an angle on his cheekbone like this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at that. Move that over like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then there's another thing about like that. And then this thing here, where does that go? To the side of the mouth goes to the first band in here, and then there's a second one in here. This. And that's a shadow shape there. That's what like a shadow shape of my and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just gently fill this in, these shadow shapes here, to get a sense of those proportions as well. And then this here, because this is actually so those are pretty significant shadow shapes.
Mhm.
Okay, do you see what I just did?
I did.
Yeah, and then this comes down this shadow shape under the neck. And it kind of goes like this. If I want to make it really basic, then it's got these two things that come up, these two things, but for the most part, it's about like this. Why am I doing that? Well, I'm trying to look for, okay, does this look all right between there? Does that shape there look all right? Does this, no, that's too low. This comes down like this and then like that. So these are very quick shadow shapes. And what are they doing? They're helping me to see my proportions, right?
Proportions.
You get that?
Yeah, oh, of course. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
For
Yeah.
sure.
And I'm looking at it now, and this thing looks too big. It needs to come down.
Anybody else want to reveal?
Okay.
mine was more sketch. Mine did.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so that's what so anyway, that's where I'm at right now. Okay.
Right.
So it's pretty simple. Okay, let's see who's got what there. Karen, you want to show yours? You got your paper up there.
Oh, that's pretty good, Karen.
Let me see here. Spotlight for everybody. I think you have to do the same. You got to take your fuzzy off. You got to take your
I haven't got fuzzy on. So it's just cameras focusing.
Oh, go back. Go back. Oh,
It doesn't like the paper. It wants your face. Yeah, you can see your background is blurred. For sure it is. For sure it is. Check your video settings. I can see it's blurred because you can see the outline around your face, your hair.
No, it's just the focus because I've gone to blur my background, which is that one.
Okay.
So that's not blur
What
background.
about the enhancement? Turn off to see if maybe you've blurred your features. You know, we were talking about appearance.
Well, that we could get.
No touch-ups allowed.
Where was the? I was in video
Adjust background and effects.
background and effect.
Appearance.
Take off the appearance.
Yep. Touch up my appearance. Exactly. Touch it up. Yeah.
See if it will. No, it's a matter of focus on the camera.
Anyway, I can see that you got your proportions pretty good in your angles, even though it's blurry. Yes, she did that. You got that really quick.
It's really blurry.
You're fast.
Yeah, you're fast, boy. Oh boy.
Anyway, it's looking good. This is yours on the light white side
But this is my
right now.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's great.
But it is the second time I've done him, so I know.
Yeah, well, me too. I've done it the
Ah,
second time too. You get to
yesterday.
practice, yeah. Practice. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
All of a
there.
sudden it went clear.
Yeah. Let me just try that.
So, Karen,
again.
tell the truth. That's the first time, and all you did was adjust it, right? Not hearing me.
Move it in front of your face.
Oh,
No.
Isn't that weird?
it's something to do with. It's the auto. There we
There,
go.
there
it
it
is.
is. The
Oh,
angle.
it went.
Whoa, that was peculiar.
Now it's completely whited
Now
out.
it's gone. Oh, it's back.
Okay, well,
We
we're
can see
gonna
it,
have to
Karen.
work
Anyway,
with what it is.
you
Yeah.
can
It's
get
so fast. Boy.
Very good, Karen. Excellent. Okay, what would I do? Okay, check the jawline. It looks like it's a little low. The jawline looks like it might be a bit low. And also the same thing, you have to drop that brow that's sticking out. You have to drop it just a tad. And the angle of your nose needs to
brow.
be more to the right. You've got it a little too. So look at the angle of the nose needs to be more towards the edge of the face.
the whole thing.
No, just the
Just the
here.
angle, just more sticky out.
Here. Okay, we can see there. So I'll pick it out on here. The angle of this nose here,
Yeah.
it needs to just be tilted a tad. Okay, yours is
Oh.
really straight. It needs to be tilted a tad.
Tilted inwards. Oh yeah.
Towards the edge of the nose. Pick it. Oh, put it up again.
But actually, you're right. It's from the very top. It actually goes in towards his face, and
Yours goes in. Yeah, yours is a little too straight. It needs to
Yeah.
be just tilted a bit that way. And
Yeah,
think
I just take it off
I think
the
this
edge.
thing here, the eyebrow needs to come out a bit too. I think. Hold it
How
up a bit. I
tall?
might be able to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the eyebrow comes. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, the tilt of the eye here needs to be a
Yeah.
little. Your tilt is kind of still up here. It needs to come down a tad.
Down like that.
It's the same thing with Laura. I had to tilt mine
Yes.
too. Time I did
Yes,
that.
it is.
So the
Yeah.
whole thing needs to be tilted. This tilt needs to come down slightly like this.
Yeah.
And then this nose needs to be. So what you've got
And
is
that's-
a big straight.
That's why my eye was looking a bit too big, and I couldn't work out why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens is that the nose is too straight, and the whole T of that area is a little too straight. It needs to be tilted ever so slightly.
I can just take it off with, the edges.
I think for mine, this part of the mouth is a little high. I think it's too much. I think it needs to be more like this. Better. So I just shaved a little bit off the mouth here. Right here. So this mouth got shaved a tad.
And the lower corner of the mouth is lower down than you got it.
And then what I used for that, I was using these lines that were around the mouth to help me gauge all that. This. That.
I actually found leaving the circle in right to the end with all the lines was because it gave you like another grid. And you were just
Yeah,
What do you
I
mean,
agree.
Karen? Karen, what did you say? Leaving the circle?
He left
Oh.
all
I said
the Loomis,
leaving the circle with all the lines on here. And even on the original, I didn't take it off till only just when I was finished with all the lines and the intersections, because you've got loads of, just like when we're drawing with one cross, you've got loads of crosses to compare.
So there's
Mhm.
lots of,
Yeah.
so you see on the one that I'm seeing right now that you're showing us the Xerox copy. Okay, this one here. Your circle makes sense now. Like, it's basically his skull.
Yeah.
Whereas
But
before,
even all that
like,
line, any of the lines that you drew down the center of his face, which helped with the nose and the mouth and the chin and everything,
yeah.
I left them all on.
So if you look at your one that you sent in for this week, the circles look like a helmet, like a martial.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or a deep sea diver's helmet kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it was definitely too big. And here, I think this is, this one was more
Yeah, so when you're
correct,
looking
but
at it now, you can see it. It's his skull.
Yeah. I can't believe I didn't know, because I drew that funny thing with his turban and the lines and went, well, that's weird. Why does his hair go like that? Without
Yeah,
realizing
exactly.
it wasn't his hair.
Yeah. So so that
Yeah, let me get that in.
This comes out a tad and the lip and all that kind of stuff. So so that's this
Big
is what it's
thing.
all about. All this part here that we're just doing. That's the skill set. Because once you have that, actually, I'm looking at this, and this probably could come forward a bit, this shadow line with the thing there. And this comes out. And this comes in a bit. That's what that is. Once you have this part of it, now you're off to the races. You can begin to focus on the details, but you spend a lot of
Actually,
time.
once his brows are correct and in the right line, that actually makes him look way more fierce.
Yeah,
That
well,
little
he's
yeah.
more furrowed brow, right?
Yeah.
Because if his brow was up,
looks
he's
correct now,
got this
yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, it changes his expression completely. Yeah. And then, of course, when we get in here in the shadow, this furrow will
Really makes
by
it. Yeah.
virtue of the shadows starting to come up, right?
Yeah.
As we get into those shadows. Anyway, so that's the time is it anyway? I don't have my watch. I want to see.
20 after.
Quarter after
On
6.
6. Oh yeah, it's 6:15. Yeah.
So this is the skill set we are going to work a lot on. Okay, so that we'll get to the point where we can sit down and we will be very happy. Oh, no, we need Marianne.
Marianne.
Just a sec.
Well, I'm nowhere near what you guys are. Can you see
better,
that?
Oh,
or
this
you're
is a
better
lot
than
better,
me,
Marianne.
Marianne. You got the angles all right. At least more of them right than I did.
I had a devil of a time trying to get this side and where that line is, and then the angle there. Like I spent almost all my time doing that.
But you got it better than
I think
me.
it's correct. It is correct.
That's good.
Okay, so you've got the same thing going on. All three of you made the far brow. This one here.
What?
Too flat. Yeah.
All three made it a little too straight. It needed to come down a teeny bit. I mean, it was pretty straight.
Yeah.
If you look at it here, it looks pretty straight, but when you get going on it, I did the same
Yeah,
thing.
no,
I
it
originally had
looks-
mine up here. And I
Well,
kept going, no,
yeah.
right, it's got to come down. So we had to change that angle like this. So Marianne, let's just take a look at your stuff.
You know why,
Yeah.
Carrie? Why it looks straight, but it's not? It's because he's got very deep set eyes. I mean, his brow is
Yeah.
almost like a Klingon. It's
Okay,
Mhm.
so the same thing, Marianne. You need to drop the brow right here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, let's
Just a
keep
little
looking
bit
at it. We
more.
need to keep looking at it, Marianne. Keep your
Oh, sorry.
camera
Mhm.
just while we critique it. Okay, so that definitely has to come down. And as a result, this angle of a lot of the angles, so that angle has to change there, right?
Okay.
As a
Mhm.
result, everything has to drop down. Oop, we lost you.
Okay. Oh, just a minute. This is my tablet. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, now, and you're doing some of the things that you did before. Okay,
Ugh.
so
Yeah.
what's happening now? I want you to take it. So we want to change that angle. It's got to come down. So it's got like yours is literally straight. So it has to come down. Okay, like this.
Mhm. Okay.
Then I want you to look at now his jaw is wide open. And you've done this, almost all of your jaws are squashed.
Oh, okay.
So look at this angle here.
Mhm.
Look at your angle.
Yeah.
You've got your angle way too much like that. And how you just do it is like this, Marianne. You just have you're holding your pencil like that, looking at that,
Mhm.
and you just bring it over. You don't even have to guess. You just have to look and replicate. Look and replicate. That's it.
Mhm.
So it seems to me you're getting hung up on some kind of I don't know, you're seeing something and you're getting hung up on it, as opposed to initially you're just going like this and like this, okay? This and like this. And you'll see, so even as I'm doing this, like this, and then like this, and you can see it's dead accurate.
Mhm.
This, like that, the nose, slightly to the side. And you see what I'm doing? I'm holding my thing as my measuring tool, and then I will quite often be steadying my wrist. So I'm going like, there we go. I'm going like this like this, that, and holding my wrist and going over. It's actually very simple. Okay, and so at the very, very beginning, when we're trying to establish all these basic shapes and angles and alignments, that's basically all you're doing is like that. And it doesn't even matter, even if you're making it slightly smaller or bigger, those angles don't change.
Mhm.
So you can see that this head is actually smaller than this one, whereas this one was bigger.
Mhm.
So it doesn't really matter. It's a very arbitrary thing. And so this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you to, like I said, not be married to, we're taking the next step up where you're not dependent, you're not looking at this tool. What you're beginning to do is read the image and be able to find where the information is coming from and how to just replicate it. Okay, you're developing your eye. You're not relying on the tool. What you're relying on is your eye. So I didn't get into a single solitary, what's the word here? Give me a sec. Here we go. You know, we have the measuring tool here. We get into this very kind of like this, and then we go like this. You know, we're very careful to make it just so, right? And so we've kind of abandoned that level of dependency on this. And now we're taking the principles of those measurements and we're just relying on our pencil and our eye. So you're asking your eye to do more. And if you do, it will. That's the old thing, you know. So I'm saying it's sometimes people are getting freaked out, but the reality is that this is what's actually going to make you a better artist. It's a fact. I've watched it over and over again. So the main the main thing you need to be doing is getting very good at, you know, holding your arm steady, looking at what it is, and then just transferring over. That right there. Transfer that to that. There. And then looking at those, then going back and looking at it and say, is that the right angle? Something looks a little bit off. So, you know, I'm not even measuring at that point. I'm not measuring and going, oh, well, what's it? I'm just looking at it and saying something's off. What is it? Okay, let me just look carefully. What is this? Go back and forth and going, okay, this needs to come on a different angle. As a result, it's going to change the nose. It's going to be on a slightly different angle. This is going to be on an angle. Then I'm looking at this. It's pretty good. And I changed it quite a bit. You know, it's like I didn't get it, you know, 3, 4, 5 tries to fine tune it. But we just get the basics in there and then we begin to fine tune it. Then we haven't done the ear, we haven't done any of this stuff else. Does it make sense, Marianne?
It does, but my eye doesn't work the same way, and I have a lot of difficulty with that.
Okay, so then what I would do, I would just get really think about this, okay? That's what I'm saying. Holding the thing. Just say, okay, I just need to that's the biggest thing I would do. Rely on the angle that you have with your pencil, and then just transfer it over. Just work on that. Okay.
Yeah.
And I would really be working on this stage. Okay. Like if we do nothing more than this, I mean, even like once we actually leave this, you guys can just keep fleshing out the drawing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the part you need to get hammered down. So like this is the part that you really need to focus on. So this is
for
like I'm
me, yes,
saying,
of course.
like even and right now it's funny because I went in and I did this thing the other day. Like I was doing the Rembrandt before. It was a lot of work, and that painting. And now that I'm finished it, my head's freed up. And when I was in here working on this yesterday, actually I really enjoyed it. I went, oh yay, I'm just sketching away and I'm drawing away, yay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting there and I kind of now I've got my head out of the painting game. I'm back in the sketching game. And I'm kind of sort of going, okay, I can happily do this. Like I can, I don't think doing 1 or 2 drawings a week is going to be an issue. I'm happy to spend a couple of hours in the afternoon just sitting there doing it over and over and over again. And what I did, like I said, when I first went to the academy, I did constructs. I did a ton of them the first year. I just practiced on those constructs until literally I could do them in my sleep. And because I really recognized how important they were. And so that's what these are. These are, I mean, the only difference between a construct and a block-in is that the construct is when we're sitting there with that little tool and we're measuring exact. The block-in is just more of a freehand upgrade to the same process. Exactly. And so by learning to do these block-ins, you know, and become very familiar with them, then that's a massive leap forward in your ability to see, draw, and replicate. And also see your eye, using your eye as the tool rather than the little stick, the measuring tool.
Mm.
And so yeah, so Marianne, if you don't do your drawings any more than this, I would be totally happy. In other words, the block-in stage, we don't need to take it
Yeah.
to, don't waste your energy into taking it to a finished drawing stage.
Right,
It's
right,
better
right.
that you get this stage done. And you can see that once this stage is done, getting it to this stage is just a matter of just sitting down and fussing with the details. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's the same logic as before. I would spend so much more time trying to get that construct done. Because if I didn't have the construct right, there was no point in me going on.
Yeah.
And I always found the construct difficult. I still do. So anyway, I'll get there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I guess what I'm saying is that I kind of, when I kind of opened this up, I kind of went, oh gee, I could get right into this again. I could get right into this skill set again. Because because it's a change from what I've been doing with these long drawn out paintings. It's been too much. It's you know, these ones I can be knocking them off one in an afternoon. It's like it's a whole different headspace, and I just need it. You know, I need that.
Yeah, and there's something about
Right.
black and white that's lovely.
Yeah, and also it's just I just feel like it's just being I don't know. I feel like it's not a skill that I certainly learned enough. We didn't have sketchbooks or anything like in the academy. I don't understand where that's coming from, but anyway. So anyway, I'm happy to just do these and do them and just do them till I can't stand looking at them anymore. Anyway, so that's what you guys can move forward and do this. Marianne, if you want to do it over again and try that, you can do that.
Yeah.
Or you can just try and fix that up. And I really liked this particular exercise with this particular drawing because it lent itself very well to what it is that we're trying to accomplish here. I thought it was a great drawing.
Yeah, it is a good picture.
So we'll just kind of keep that. Okay, so
yeah,
basically we're at 6:30, and like, is that enough for you guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Me too. I feel like okay, that's enough.
If I gotta get going.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also too, I think it's enough.
So
2
what's
hours
the plan for next week?
Next week we'll do critiques. Okay, so this is what we'll
Okay,
do. We'll
all
bounce
right.
back and forth from critiques
Okay.
to actual demos. Okay, and
Okay,
working on this.
perfect.
And
so,
Carrie,
you know-
you'll give us like for the demo, you'll give us like the drawing to draw.
Yeah, I've been recording the whole
in
time.
advance. I mean, okay.
Yeah, and then what I do too, I mean, yesterday, like I said, I did this, I recorded it all. I don't know, I might turn around and do it again as another record, because I'm still figuring out my stupid cameras. And, but I don't care. I'm happy to draw this thing over. I mean, I did the Rubens 3 times.
Wow. Yeah.
So, you know, it's just practice, right? And then I'll get a good video of it. And then I have 2 Rubens already done. So I'll be able to start posting those pretty soon on Patreon and stuff. And so this is what we're going to do. Just a lot of these drawings, just start knocking them out. So
Okay.
you guys can take the time and you can either redo that one again, but
Yep.
just like Karen did this time, because she redid it. And, or you can, pick something that you like and then just bring it as a block in, you know, a freehand block in. So basically that's the skill set that we're going to be working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So what do we got here?
All right. So we'll see you next week. then.
We'll see you next week.
So next week's
Okay.
critiques, so send the work in.
Okay. All right.
All right then.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay then.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.